Saturday. This is the line to Warsaw's Spatif Club. This is the best place in town to hear real soul music being played, from vinyl records only. Inside, the Soul Service DJ collective is playing. DJs Misty, Zura, Sparky, Reynolds and Roma Leopard. You won't hear a team like this anywhere else. And there's a record battle raging amongst the DJs. Which one of them has found the most interesting, funky, lesser known and groovy disc that will most rock the dance floor tonight? But this record clash just didn't come out of nowhere. The Soul Service DJ collective has been around for 20 years. In 2005, DJs Misty, Zura, Kapitan Sparky and Reynolds, who had long been interested in funk and soul music and already playing in clubs, decided to form a collective. In 2007, thanks to a collaboration with the Polskie Nagrania label and producer Iwona Thierry, the first in a series of compilations by the Soul Service collective titled Polish Funk was released on vinyl and on CD. Polish Funk is a selection of vintage tracks recorded in communist times, chosen for their interesting vibe and danceability. The Chicago-based store Dusty Grooves called it a wonderful introduction to the genre we've been looking for in Polish archive for years. And Jazzman Records of the UK described it as an album reflecting the power and diversity of funky jazz recorded behind the Iron Curtain in Poland in the 1970s. The famous Polish singer Ewa Bem stated in an interview that it was a great album that offers a chance to introduce Polish music to a new generation of dancers, and so it proved. The term Polish funk itself has become a permanent part of the musical language and is now a commonly accepted term, even though funk itself was never perceived as a genre existing in Poland during communist times. It immediately won the heart of music lovers in Poland and abroad. Already in 2007, the second part of Polish funk was released, along with a 7-inch single with 2 additional tracks. The following year, the third part of the series was released. The fourth part, released by Polskie Nagrania, had to wait until 2010. Promoting the Polish Funk album series, Soul Service performed at the famous London club, the Jazz Café. The famous Polish jazz singer Urszula Dudziak performed a concert featuring tracks from the Polish Funk compilation, and DJ Format and the Soul Service DJs themselves presented their mix of vintage Polish funk tracks. Soul Service with their Polish funk appeared at local festivals. They played at Open Air in Gdynia and toured with the Męskie Granie. They visited the Czech Republic, Slovenia, Austria, Germany, France, Tel Aviv, Jerusalem, and even Shanghai. However, the search for danceable and soulful rhythms from the vaults of Polish music was far from over. In 2009, the Soul Service collective released their compilation Why Not Samba, showcasing Polish music inspired by Brazilian and Latin sounds. In 2011, the collective focused on jazz. More interesting grooves were selected from the Polskie Nagrania vaults, and Soul Service compiled the album Off Season. The album featured tracks by jazz stars such as novi singers Jan Wróblewski and Ojca Karol. The album was released in collaboration between Polskie Nagrania on CD and the Funky Mamas and Papas label on vinyl. Soul Service's next project, the album Strange Weekend, was released in 2013 by Polskie Nagrania on CD and the Funky Mamas and Papas label on vinyl. This time the collective DJs explored Polish psychedelic music. Soul Service also invited renowned international DJs to share their turntables. International DJ stars such as Oli Tiba of Herbalizer, DJ Format, Keb Daj, Mr. Thing, Rob Life, DJ Amir, Mark Hype, Eddie Pilar of Acid Jazz Records, Florian Keller, Henry Storch, Marky Funk, Misha Czech, and many, many more. In 2013, Soul Service welcomed a new member, Ojca Karol. He is associated with the Polish breakdance scene and the group Break Da Funk. 2014 was filled with numerous activities and performances with Karol, including the recording and release of his introductory mixtape featuring Brazilian funk, The Fifth Wheel. As part of Record Store Day, the collective prepared a special event showcase featuring small portable turntables. See Polish Funk was Soul Service's next project, a multimedia exhibition of Polish vinyl covers, and it met with huge interest in Poland. The collective also took it on tour to Tokyo and Istanbul.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Soul Service.
In 2015, Soul Service received an invitation to participate in a Polish edition of the famous Boiler Room DJ sets. That same year, the collective prepared a special Polish funk set for 20,000 people at Warsaw's Wianki Festival, appearing with famous Polish singers Urszula Dudziak, Halina Frąckowiak and Ania Rusowicz. In 2017, a permanent residency with Warsaw's Spatif Club begins. Since then, the collective has had its own venue where it resides every Saturday. 2017 also marks the beginning of a new collaboration for the Soul Service DJ collective with GAD Records and with graphic designer Dawid Ryski. It's a perfect creative collaboration that resulted in the creation of another Soul Service project, Kroniki Filmowe, Polish library music, 1963 to 78. Until then, these tracks were only background music heard under the voiceover in Polish film Chronicle documentaries. That music was taken out of the context of the Chronicles, and listeners had the opportunity to hear the tracks in their entirety for the first time without talkover. During the album premiere at Warsaw Spatif, the group P Unity gave a live performance of the film Chronicles music. Continuing the theme of film and television music, in 2019, Soul Service organised the Polish premiere and screening of the film Library Music and invited their creators, Paul Elliott and Sean Lee, who later performed during Soul Service Night at Spatif after the screening.
Soul Service w Chili Z.
Soul Service aren't just heard in clubs. For many years, they hosted programs on various radio stations in Poland. From 2011 to 2013, they broadcast on Radio Roxy. They collaborated with Radio Jazz and Radio Campus, and in 2019, they had their own show on Radio Chili Z. In 2018 to 2020, Soul Service performed at festivals in Poland and abroad, in Singapore, during Jazz Ahead in Bremen, and at the electronic music festival Up to Date. Now, stepping outside their Polish apartment, Soul Service took a broader look at the entire bloc. In this case, it was the Eastern Bloc. Together with GAD Records, they prepared a musical journey back into the 70s. It's full of vintage funky rhythms, vintage psychedelic tones, and soulful memories from countries behind the Iron Curtain. You'll hear a jazz band from East Germany, colliding with psychedelic music of Czechoslovakia, an Estonian cover of Frida's song, all complemented with the soulful expression of the Polish band Bizony. It's called Interwizje. It's another compilation from the Soul Service collective. Time passes by inexorably. In 2023, Soul Service turns 18. The group Soyuz plays a concert at the collective's 18th birthday party. In 2024, DJ Roma Leopard became the first female member of the Soul Service collective. There are hundreds of events across the country and abroad, and in Warsaw, a DJ set featuring the largest dance party in Warsaw's history, which took place in the Royal Castle Gardens. 2025 brings a grand celebration, 60 years of Polish jazz. Soul Service is partnering with Warner Music Poland to host a series of events. 2025 also marks the premiere of the live band Torpedo, playing Polish funk. It's created by Bartek Pazura of Soul Service. The band performs live music inspired by the Polish funk series. And of course, 2025 marks the 20th anniversary of Soul Service. Over the past 2 decades, the collective has released 10 compilations, not counting the members' solo projects. culmination of Soul Service's 20th anniversary celebrations is the premiere of the collective's latest compilation, Around the Polish Funk, once again released in collaboration with GAD. This time the album is being released as a collector's box set. It comprises of 5 vinyl singles showcasing the most diverse shades of Polish funk. From excellent film themes, Don't Stand by the Door from the comedy Dzięcioł, through to the best studio projects, the previously unreleased recordings by Novi singers Gramin and Metro. This also marks the launch of a new series of 7-inch vinyl singles from Soul Service. The vinyl 45 record format has always been the favoured medium for the collective. So, this is an invitation to celebrate 2 decades of Soul Service with us. And next time you're in Warsaw, join us on the dance floor.